Just thoughts on Arkansas special teams right now as they continue to struggle in that area.
I think that the biggest thing for them, it's like I said earlier, is finding the consistency, getting the guys to buy in, to want to play. Those guys have to want to. You look around the really good teams, they play special teams. Those guys play special teams, and you got to have a good special teams to do it. So I think they all have to buy into to what the coaches are saying and try and do what's right.
You said special teams coaches are underappreciated. Arkansas doesn't have one. I mean, do you think all teams should have a special teams coordinator?
When you're trying to take offensive players and defensive players and put them together in a group, I think you definitely need a special teams coach. It's such a hard thing to coach in such a short amount of time. Special teams coaches, they have to rely on every other coach, minus probably the head coach, unless he's in the special teams. They have to rely on all of them to help in practice because there's so many bodies, so many different things going through that I think that they need a coach across the league.
A fan wanted me to ask you, if Arkansas offered you a consulting position, would you be interested in?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I think that I definitely can bring something to the game. I'm not saying I'm obviously perfect at it, and just like every coach, you're going to get criticized. So I would definitely take a look at it.
You just wanted to settle back in your home state? I mean, what was the decision on that? I mean, you could live anywhere.
I love Arkansas. I love Fort Smith. I love Fayetteville. My wife's from Fayetteville. She went to Fayetteville High. I love the people here. I love the South, and so we kind of decided we were going to just live here.
Have you seen the recruiting process kind of change from when you went through it until what it is today?
There's a lot of social media. They didn't have social media whenever I was going through it, and that's one thing that's hard on coaches. You have to have that drive to message these kids because everybody's more sensitive now, and if you don't message them back, they may get their feelings hurt and not come here. So there's a lot of social media, and I think Chad's done a great job and the program's done a great job of what they've done on Twitter, through the recruiting programs and everything else. And I think that's they're staying with the kind of the times, which is good.
Just giving coaches time to get their system in. I mean, it's a now movement, but just trying to giving the coaches time to get this thing turned around.
That's the hardest part, is giving a coach time. Everybody wants to win now. You look across the league, and not just the SEC, but you look at a lot of new coaches. There were big hires that they've been struggling to, and a lot of that is the players buying in. That's where it all starts on a new coach, and those guys that might have the opportunity to go play NFL. Those guys better buy in, and they have to lead the team, and that's where you're at a struggle right now with leadership, and that's kind of how you have to move on with a new program.
How much do you think the practice time limits factor into special team struggles?
Well, that's why I say special teams coach is underrated. Even in the NFL, you don't have a whole lot of time for special teams. The punt returners come out there and they catch balls before practice, catch balls after practice. But meeting time, you don't have as much meeting time, you don't have as much practice time, so you have to buy in. And that's hard to do when you have offensive players worried about wanting to start on offense and wanting to start on defense as well. So you have to mold those people together, and that does take time. But that's one thing that is the hardest thing is special teams is a third of the game. It's so important for changing field position, and you spend the least amount of time on it, and it's hard to do.
There's a personal want to on special teams too. I mean, I remember watching you guys used to go spend an hour and a half of practice kind of by yourselves working on it.
As specialists, that's what you have to do. You're by yourself all the time. You're working by yourself, and you have to have that drive to want to be great. And that's one thing that I've noticed whenever through the pros you see guys come through, and there's only 46 people addressed on the NFL roster. If you can't play special teams, you're not going to make that roster if you're on the bubble. You know what I mean? And that's hard because high school, they don't play special teams. College, there's a lot of places you don't play special teams. And they really should, because it helps them team out and helps them out for maybe if they have a chance to play in the NFL.